I wasn't born jacked and disciplined. There was once a time where I was a complete degenerate, a weed-smoking loser, getting kicked out of college, getting fired from every single job I had, literally spending the days rotting away, painting the walls with my cum, stuffing my face full of shitty food, and rotting my brain with pointless entertainment. Throughout all of this delusion, I still was convinced that one day I'm gonna make it. And then reality finally bitch slapped me, and I realised I was a complete loser. As the days went by, I started hating myself more and more. My mind would keep me up at night, bullying the fuck out of me, telling me what a worthless sack of shit I was. I wasted years trying to self-improve, claw my way out of hell, always getting into a state of making progress and then falling back off hard. Nothing ever changed until I stopped focusing on how I'm gonna escape hell, but who I have to become to make it inevitable. And now I'm on a mission. I want to help you time travel. I don't want you to go through all the suffering I went through. Do you know what's a much better feeling than smoking weed, chasing girls, getting meaningless casual sex, eating shitty junk food, watching Netflix, rotting your brain away, distracting yourself from the pain of your existence? Much better feeling than that is going to bed at the end of the day knowing that you actually pushed yourself. Maybe you didn't accomplish everything you set out to. Maybe, just maybe, you're still in a position of life far from where you want to be. But when you go to bed knowing that you actually put in as much effort as you are capable of, man, there is no sweeter sleep than that. Doesn't matter if you sleep 8 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours. If you're actually pushing yourself every single day and you're working towards a meaningful goal that you chose, not that society gave to you, not that your parents gave to you, not that the fucking internet gurus gave to you, but one that is intrinsic to your heart, man, it's like every single time you put out more effort and you sacrifice more comfort, you are gifted with more energy. And it's no surprise that I think these things. I say this message almost every video, and I'm going to carry on saying that until it's firmly drilled into your skull and you stop looking for motivation before you take the uncomfortable action. Bro, I'm freshly pumped from the gym. I just did chest, shoulders, arms, best day of the week, but I turned it into the worst day of the week by ending the session with some brutal conditioning. I don't know if I invented this exercise, but I call it the Bally burpee, where essentially you take a barbell, you do a push-up part of the burpee, and then you do a barbell row. So you go from push-up to row, from push-up to row, from push-up to row, and my goodness, is it brutal. You see, I love burpees because I hate burpees, because they're so just mentally and physically challenging. But whenever I've done burpees every day, or even consistently, I get nagging shoulder pains because all you're doing is a push-up. You're not reversing the motion. Your joints love balance, and you're only working like the front side of your body pretty much. Like you're pressing muscles and you're working your quads with like a push-up and a squat combined. You're not really like challenging them muscularly because your muscles are way stronger than that, but you're fatiguing them. So I've solved this annoying problem by turning the burpee into an actual full body exercise. You do a push-up, you do a row, and the row, obviously, you know, you're working the entire back part of your body because it's like an explosive. But anyway, I've gotten massively sidetracked. I was talking about pushing yourself, and that was just one element of pushing yourself that I employed today. And to be honest with you, I don't care that I'm getting rambly and chaotic, because that's exactly why I'm recording this video. I recorded a video this morning where I tried to like structure it. What would be the good things to say? What would they need to hear? When I waited too long. I had this initial idea of what I wanted to say like 2 days ago, and I was like, no, I'll do it later, and the idea died because I didn't execute with speed. And so I tried to recreate it, but to be honest, I just kept recording and re-recording, stopping, starting, and I hated the finished product. I could post it because, you know, you're getting it out there, but to be honest with you, I wanted to really come on here, come with what was fresh on my mind, and just talk, because this is what's actually developing my skill of speaking. When there is no real plan, there's just a vague idea of what I want to say, and I gain clarity through articulating my thoughts. And man, I miss this feeling so much, of actually going through the day with intense fulfillment, drive, even when I feel shit. Because yesterday, I woke up disgustingly tired. My sleep deprivation over the week has been accumulating, and yesterday it just all slapped me in one go, and I was dragging my feet for a lot of the day. I really wanted to give in to my old ways of just putting out the bare minimum, of going through the motions, half-assing everything, and using the excuse of, oh, I'm tired anyway, I won't perform well, and then ending up just consuming content, eating for comfort, rotting my brain away. But I went to the gym, I went to work, I posted my 15 Instagram stories, I put out like 6 trial reels, and none of them did very well, but I don't give a fuck, because I put in the effort. I sacrificed the comfort, and I ended the day feeling incredible. I finally caught up on some sleep. I woke up this morning, I was fucking pumped. I mean, it never ever feels good when the 4 a.m. alarm goes off. I always want to turn it off and go back to sleep. But, you know, once I get in my cold shower, I do my little morning pump workout, like, the energy starts to fucking flow. Some days when I'm sleep deprived, even after that, it feels nasty. But, you know, this morning, I was finally starting to get back into rhythm again. But I went outside to record this YouTube video that I said I would, and it just felt flat, hollow, empty. It didn't feel sincere because I was trying to manufacture energy. I was trying to manufacture emotion. I was trying to manufacture motivation. But the best motivation always comes from the heart. Look at David Goggins. Dude literally is on a 70-kilometer run, and in the middle of it, he just turns on the camera and speaks what's going through his mind right now, and it fucking slaps to the core because it's fresh in the moment, because he gets an idea and he executes immediately. And so the core theme that I'm getting at today is sacrifice way more than you think is reasonable. You're looking for passion, you're looking for purpose, you're looking for this energy, this unstoppable, relentless drive. That only comes from sacrificing more comfort than you think you need. Because yes, you can feel perfect, you can optimize everything so that you're at peak performance all the time, follow what the science nerds say, and end up just feeling flaccid. I've made that very mistake. When I came back to the UK after failing in Thailand, after falling off and losing myself, I was just sort of flopping through the motions. I was putting out half-assed content. I wasn't really getting into the flow of things. I was doing my 4 a.m. morning routine. I was training hard. I was bulking by eating emotionally clean food, but still stuffing my face. And everything just felt flat because I was trying to optimize. I was trying to do what would make me feel good on paper, you know, getting my perfect 8 hours of sleep, cutting out caffeine because, you know, it's addictive. I'm dependent on it. But all of that was for the larger picture of I want to optimize my testosterone levels so I feel more ambitious, so that I can start to feel this insatiable energy again, so that I can go out and conquer. But I forgot one of the crucial lessons that I learned last year. That to feel this fucking high testosterone, savage feeling, it's not about optimization. It's all about mindset. Like, having an aggressive, competitive mindset is the foundation of everything when it comes to like testosterone and shit. All of these nerdy science gurus, they want to try to, you know, give you the cute little tips, tricks and hacks and optimize your life because, you know, it's easy. But when you want to sacrifice, when you actually, when you want to give up the comfort, that's a tough sell, man. That's so hard to convince people that that is the way to go, because it's literally going against your very nature, you know? But no matter how many optimization hacks I did, no matter how much I overthought all of my routines and shit, I would still wake up with a flaccid little willy, soft and low energy. I would go through my day, I would just flop around, and nothing ever actually changed until I said, you know what? I'm not in the phase of my life when I deserve to optimize. I need to reach escape velocity. I have a fucking 9 to 5 to escape from. Who cares if I don't sleep as good some nights? Who cares if I need to, you know, get a bit dependent on some stimulants in the meantime, you know, pound a few coffees here and there. It doesn't matter. I have a goal to reach and I'll do whatever it takes to get there. And as soon as I made this like mental switch, boom, I felt high testosterone again. I felt aggressive. I felt savage. Because it's all mental, I promise you. You know, before that time, when I was still trying to optimize everything and be a little faggot, I knew that a good way to boost your test, supposedly, was by speaking to attractive women. And that is factually true. But because I was, you know, still half-arsing everything, every interaction I had just felt forced. It felt frictionful. It felt like I was trying to be someone I wasn't. But now it's just effortlessly flowing. Now hear me out. I'm not even trying to date right now. I've got way more important things to focus on than sleeping with girls. But I know that I need to keep the skill fresh. I need to, you know, be able to just initiate conversations so that when I do become that guy who can attract the woman I actually want, or the quality of woman I want, it's effortless. I don't have to go out of my way stumbling over my words like a autistic little buffoon. So, really ask yourself the question, what season of life are you in? What is your priority? Not priorities. Stop trying to live this cute little balanced life, okay? You're socializing, your little friend group that wants to hold you back. Those dating apps that honestly are gay as fuck. You know, those girls you're simping over, forget all of that shit. If you're an ambitious guy and you actually want to build something substantial of your life, this is not the time for that stuff. The balance can come later. What I've heard from a lot of successful people, you know, Chris Williamson, Alex Hormozy, like listening to their podcast is always like a golden nuggets of wisdom just left, right and centre. Something they always say is balance in the macro, not the micro. Or the other way around. I don't remember exactly, but essentially the difference between average and exceptional people is that the normies, they try to balance everything in the week. You know, they work 5 days, they have their weekend, they try to cram everything in all at once, and they end up being shit at everything. Also because they're massively slowed down by all their vices and addictions, the shitty food, the porn, the drugs, the drinking, the low frequency conversations, and it all just ends up as a stagnant, mediocre life. But the exceptional, they have periods of time, whether it be months or even years, where they go all in. They fucking shut out all the noise, and they're relentlessly focused on one singular goal. And in that time period, there is no balance. The balance comes after, where they take a week off, they take a month off, and they live life to the fullest when they actually can. They feel like they deserve to. And I've noticed this as well. All of these things that you think you'll enjoy, you know, all these experiences, going to the beach, taking a walk in the woods with you know, a nice girl where you're having banterous conversation and you're flirting. All of that stuff you can actually enjoy after you've put in effort that makes you feel proud. Because now it's like this burden has been lifted off your chest, like, fuck, I actually did it. I did something. You know, I did some inputs that made me feel like a bit of a G. But when you try to do all that stuff that supposedly is living life and enjoying yourself, when you don't feel in your heart that you've earned it, it just feels hollow, flat, empty. There's this nagging guilt in the back of your mind thinking, I should be doing more, I should be doing more, I should be doing more. Man, there's no worse feeling than ending the day and you think to yourself, is this it? Is this really all I'm capable of? And then you try to drown out all of those thoughts with your podcasts, with your YouTubes, with your entertainment, with your meaningless sex. And nothing works. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. There's two versions of you. One that has made your wildest dreams inevitable, and a bitter, resentful old hermit who's looking back with regret, thinking, oh, what could have been if I actually sacrificed a bit of comfort in my youth and actually saw what I was capable of? Which one do you want to be, bro? You only have two choices.